My friend Stone is an artist. He's a craftsman in a pretty unique genre. There is no limit to what he could have queued up for me.
What's up, man?
What's happening? What have you gotten yourself into this time?
What I got myself into, what we're gonna get into. It's a big bus, but it's gonna get bigger. It will be 50 feet wide, second deck, all the way front to back, but it's basically a floating island.
Like a cruise ship.
Oh, it's a total cruise ship. See this whole structure right here?
Yeah.
It's gone. Just blow it away right now, just like, we're cutting it all out. Add wings to each side. Each wing needs to fold up to where it's a bus again, and then drive.
It's like when you see the carnival on the freeway, it's all closed up.
Exactly. When we fold this thing out and we set it all up, we put the sound system, DJs, you don't see the bus no more, it's gone.
You're saying wings, but it's actually a dance floor? Or?
Listen, I already got it, man, it's done. 2 bars, DJ booth right here. It's a themed out thing. Like Headhunter, a lot of skulls, little bamboo, tiki stuff. Somehow you need to figure out to take a 50-foot island that folds in to itself and then folds out for probably one of the biggest festivals ever held every year in the middle of the desert.
I don't even know what to say. It's like, okay, I'm in.
Yo, man. All right, so first thing I think is that we gotta get rid of these windows.
Like with all of my clients at the beginning of a project, I always like to give them the opportunity, you know, to take the chicken exit, to opt out early and just forget the whole thing. This is your last chance. With this type of shuttle bus, I mean, you could go to work shuttling people to the airport.
But you think I wanna work for the airport? I wanna work for the circus. We're going to town on this. Cut it.
Sounds like he should be committed. Sounds like he's committed. The easiest task of this whole thing, these windows unscrew. Let's just pull them out and then we'll relocate those wiring harnesses because that is something we don't want to mess with, guaranteed.
Ha!
There it goes. With this project, there's a ton of gray area.
All right, here we go. I could do this.
I've been there plenty of times before, and every journey into the unknown starts with a first step.
There we go.
I got it. We just got to get these windows out so we can commence the demolition. It's going to be a spectacle. Well, I think it's a solid concept, man. Let's get started. Stone talks about a dance floor on the roof, you know, party on the ceiling. Okay, so I guess we're going to create a huge structure similar to what would be a roof rack, but people can walk on it. If all our calculations are correct, this will be the second story of the cruise ship. With all these wild concepts that Stone's thrown out, you know, he's seeing the end result, but there's just gonna be a lot of understructure, a lot of thought into the functionality of this before any decoration starts.
This is Popo from Germany, and this is Chef Aaron, our other chef. They're here to help us get this framework up and start making measurements, yeah?
I get to do this type of work pretty much every day with my car projects, and most normal people don't see this kind of action. So everybody's involved, and it's pretty high energy.
What do you think? Does that look good?
That looks pretty good from here.
That hangover?
I gotta say.
Yeah?
That's a roof rack. The main concept of this is we're not relying on the bus structure for the support of this. The fact is, it's going to be anchored into the floor of the bus. We create a series of these uprights that are going to pierce through the existing roof to really support it before we take any of the original bus apart. We decided to do this way because Stone is talking about cutting the walls off. It's like the bus was this big, but now it's this big.
Is that a magnet? That's a sensor. Wow,
there it is, right there. As we work through this bus roof and wall issue, the biggest problem I'm seeing is with these doors. Somewhere in this very complicated system, there are switches that tell the bus computer whether the doors are open or shut. See, this is like the Wild West edition, where we only have a freaking knife and a cordless drill, and we have to build an art car.
Yeah.
Once the bus understands the doors are closed, it will go into gear. If the doors are open, it stays put. Our task is to find this switch and convince the bus that the doors are always closed, even when there's no more doors. Just turn that on, so let's see if it's a magnet.
Is your insurance all up to speed?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Whoa, what the hell did you do, Ian?
No gear?
Nope, it won't go.
So these don't do anything. This is not the switch we're looking for. The doors have to come off, and if the bus doesn't move, then we have no project. Aha! So it's electric.
It's a micro switch.
So we plug those two together and tell it that it's shut 100% of the time. The doors are never open.
Reverse.
No throttle.
Pedal. Let me go and drive just to make sure. No pedal.
This is where it starts to get really weird. It's like bus whisperer moment. It's like, you know, talk to the bus. It's the old needle nose plier micro switch override technique.
Brakes off. Drive. Boom. Here we go.
They're
Hang
good.
on.
Through trial, error, a lot of luck, and a little bit of knowledge, we figured it out.
Booyah!
This is the first major hurdle, and I say we hurdled it. There it is.
What doors?
We need no stinking doors. So, now on to the next. This is what's called full commitment. Let's get it to the shop, weld this structure for the second floor in place, and then we're down to cutting, big time. In starting demolition on this thing, we could just go anywhere and start hacking, but I know we're gonna have to mount these wings somewhere, so before we get too far into the cutting phase, I'm trying to figure out where the structure is. One away. I've never built anything like this, you know, I'm pretty much cars and spaceships, never this thing. Look at that.
No more bus.
This is more like an extreme makeover show or something, you know, where they rebuild a house. It's like a radical living party space on wheels. Whoa! We got a lot of hands on deck, so it really makes progress rapidly. That's a substantial chunk of vehicle. Now I see where he's going with this. Let's get these walls down.
Here it is.
You don't realize what transformation has occurred until you're there and you see the walls cut out of this thing. I gotta say, this was a good call, man. All of a sudden, the panorama is quite a view. So now we know what the structure's made of. We can knock that other wall out and it's ready for the wings. Strange as it sounds, the roof floor covering, the floor on the roof, Stone's crew is getting this wood burning technique to give a little texture to the floor upstairs. I'm gonna continue to cut out the rest of the roof and get everything ready for this wing installation. One of the more challenging portions of this project is Stone's idea for this folding dance floor wing concept.
This was a stage.
Yeah.
Right? So bands would go on it, DJs or whatever. I save everything.
You're not kidding.
We don't get rid of nothing. And
Right.
we might have to cut these up a little bit and maybe make some tweaks, but I think that essentially these have become our wings. And then I have these stainless steel hinges
Yep.
that
Gotcha.
I kind of salvaged from another project.
Well, those are heavy duty too,
Oh,
man.
they're super heavy duty.
Wow.
We got to figure out how to get those mounted to the bus, and then if you can come up with some solution on how we'll be able to, you know, hinge these up and down without using like a bunch of manpower.
This is the biggest part of the project, so, you know, well, yes, I can conceive a few things, but there's always the unknown. Stone's got an eye for things that work, and he chose all of these staging sections, put them back together, and attach them to the rig. All right, we're a little more, Aaron. Right there. Okay, we're at the height. There's actually a really thick steel beam. We're just gonna drill right through that with this hinge. There's some structure under the floor of the bus that we should be able to drill through and bolt on directly, and that's a huge time saver. Cool. Maybe just tie off those straps.
I got fatter when I was underneath it.
You hear the term getting thrown under the bus? Yeah, I've never heard about getting stuck under the bus.
I gotta go on a diet.
Let's just let this down and see what it does. I mean, it's not real heavy now, but test it before it's got all that plywood on it. Cool.
Sweet.
Sure, the hinge idea is perfect, but I don't know about dance floor. Right now it looks like a trampoline. We're gonna have to get some structure into this thing. Let's fold this up. I'll get the tractor. One thing I know is this is super heavy, so I got some heavy equipment too. Let's just get it in place, see what we're working with.
1, 2, 3.
Piece of cake.
All right.
Crunch.
All right, there we go.
So this
Whoa,
is way too tall.
That is definitely not gonna fit.
We mock it up, lay it down, and it's just not gonna work. It's 7 inches different. I mean, you could see it's gonna, you know,
So
it's
we need
pitching way in. We need to section 7 inches out of it. The downside of this is that it's 7 inches too tall. You know, if it was too short, it'd be way easy to just build it up. So we're gonna have to go through the hard way. It's almost like sectioning a car, but I'm gonna have to go through all of this steel structure and refit it.
So this is one part of the wing, and then we have a whole nother section was actually bigger than this one. So we want the whole dance floor to come at least to the very back of the bus.
Same old story, different day. Sounds like Stone wants these wings a lot bigger, more towards the rear of the vehicle, and almost triple the size of the original floor pattern.
We're at the point now where I'm making things bigger and making Ian's life a little harder, but I mean, why not? Let's just go big or go home, right?
Another idea and a pile of parts. It's time for me to pull it off. First step in making these retractable wings usable as a dance floor is to section down the support structure. In my typical fashion, I'm trying to find the easiest way through this. Hi-ya! But I think if I make the right steps, I can maintain the structure and drop it down. The whole challenge of this is the main structure. You're gonna have 50 people walking on your work. You know, it's gotta count. Plenty of room. Everything looks good here. Next step, test it out. Oh, wow, you got plywood in place.
So while you guys are busy doing
Nice.
this, check this out.
Yeah, it looks like a platform.
It's pretty square and ugly looking. I'm gonna come in here and just find my curves, and we'll just jigsaw that out. Like
Oh,
this
now
kinda
you're talking my language. You don't
See?
know how I draw that.
I know, you like it.
You know, I'm feeling better already. I was getting all technical, but now I'm
here we
right back
go.
in the mood.
No, love, we're free spirits right here, bud.
Perfect.
This is how we're gonna do it right
That
here.
is a happy little piece of plywood. By the time you're done screwing this and putting the jigsaw through it, we can roll that under, and we're good, man. We got the first prototype.
Adam, cut it out.
There it is. So let's get some guys up there. We'll strap it,
Okay.
lift it, roll it under. I bet it's on the money. Lift her up. Here we go.
Hey. Bam!
Cha-ching. Looks good, man.
It's discreet,
I mean,
right?
discreet, yeah.
So driving down the road, when a cop looks at you, you just be like, nothing
Totally.
weird going on over here.
No, nothing weird here. It looks like every other RV on the road.
1, 2, 3.
And now walk it right in. All right, let's drop that wall. This is lined up just like it should be. It's within an inch.
Okay, here we go. Watch your fingers and toes.
And
And
nose.
other parts.
Look at that, that's level.
Holy smoke, look at that.
I gotta say, it's a pretty crazy idea, but here it is. It's gonna work. That's not going anywhere.
It's like,
Yeah, put a slide.
whoa! There's always a clown. There's
Always a clown. With the main part of the dance floor in place and Stone wanting this thing to extend to the back, I got a pretty clear plan on what to do next. Took a field trip out to my friend Cadillac Pat's compound. Hoping to get a few parts for the art car project, but I also want to see his whole collection. Now we know why you're called Cadillac Pat.
What's up, man?
Good
Long
to see
time,
ya.
man.
Walking right in the gate, he's got a lineup of Cadillacs.
There's a point where I've had like a dozen classic Cadillacs. I culled the collection down, so I've gotten it down to the ones I really like.
The chop is iconic. It makes those fins look gigantic.
The shock and all, man.
Right.
It's got flamethrowers in it,
Nice.
super low, just obnoxious.
Nice. Pat's really into the music scene, so he built a really cool stage for him and his buddies to rock out on.
I had a buddy of mine helping in the deconstruction of the House of Blues on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he called me up and he says, hey man, you interested in some metal signs from that venue? And I'm like, well, yeah. So I was
Stage.
like, it'd look rad if I made a stage for this thing. And it went from a small stage to this.
What is it, 16 feet tall? This stage is one of the reasons I reached out to Pat. This was built mainly from repurposed materials, and he mentioned that he had a whole bunch of aluminum that was laying on the side.
Well, maybe this will work for you here. It's some 2x2 aluminum.
Perfect. Looks like shark cage or something. What the heck was this?
man.
Yeah, we're building this art car. It's like a mobile stage.
Okay.
It's this material. It's 2x2,
Oh,
crazy
cool.
enough.
It's yours, man. Get it out of here.
I know, you got stuff, so do I. Pat's more than willing to donate this to the cause, so that's always a plus. You know, favor for a favor, that's how we're rolling.
Put it to use.
This crazy concept is a go. The bus drives fine with those wings folded up, as prescribed. It looks like a bunch of carnies coming through my neighborhood. We're gonna have to definitely mellow this out. Stone's mode here is to completely hide the donor vehicle for this project. In party mode, you don't even know it's a bus.
We gotta hide every inch of this bus. We can't let nobody know that there's an actual bus underneath that. We're gonna make it look like a float. Right here, I started with this wood paneling, right?
Yeah, it looks cool.
Pop it right off.
Gotcha.
Watch fingers. So when we're done with this, you won't see 1 inch of this entire, but you won't even see this wheel. You won't see nothing. Being from New Orleans with Mardi Gras and floats and all that stuff,
Right.
we're basically building a big, massive, super strong float, but like all made out of metal, super tough, that we can just bring it anywhere for as long as we want and it won't fall apart.
Super float.
Super float.
Goes on the freeway.
The lights, the windshield wipers, all that stuff will just go away as soon as we put the mask on.
Stone says he's made some progress on the aesthetics. He's come up with this giant mask shape that he wants to attach to the front.
I got this really gnarly, like really kind of aggro looking dude. So here, come check it out. Come in the shop. They're all laying all over the place. So we use a little bit of paint, a little bit of water, get a little bit of rust going.
Okay.
Mouth, eyes. And this is basically his like headdress, his eyebrows.
This is very similar to the way I work. You know, you have a concept, you have a mock-up, there's pieces everywhere. Will everything work together? That's where we're at now. Stone has a lot of experience building these large-scale art projects, but you never know what they're gonna look like when it's actually installed. Let's get it together and see what we're working with.
All right.
We're gonna tack weld it all together, hang it in place to see if anything needs modification. Ultimately, it'll be removable, nut and bolt system.
Can you see it, Ian? Do you see it?
I think so.
Is my imagination coming through your circuits on this one or what? Old Savage World, Indiana Jones, like that whole kind of Temple of Doom.
Oh, right,
and you're always looking for treasures. And then I'm gonna do a lot more gold patinas where he looks like he just ate a bunch of gold and it's just dripping out of his mouth. So
Gold
like,
eater.
it's a little
I've heard of
throwback
gold
to-
diggers,
Yes.
but gold eaters? I know the drivability of this vehicle is gonna be in very slow motion, idling around basically in party mode. And looking at this mask, it's completely blocking the driver's view. I'm sure Stone has already thought that issue through.
I want to try to move all the driving up there.
Of course he's thought it through. That's Ian's problem. Just make it drive. Just like that?
Just like that.
I must ask you a question.
I must ask you a question.
Need to mock it up properly because laying on the floor, it doesn't look anything like this. I'm gonna give up this car building business. These parade floats are where it's at.
Oh yeah, look how mean he looks, dude.
Look how the sun
Look
comes
with the
through
sun
the
coming in
eyeballs.
and that light
Yeah.
in his eye.
Down on the right,
This side?
up on the left, yeah. A huge part of this concept is how it looks at night. That's really when the parties pop off. So, the idea of illuminating the mask from behind to give it a lot of light up features is of paramount importance. Stone said he wants the controls on the art car up on the roof, and the first thing that comes to mind was this boat. It does the same thing. You're up here, you got your hand on the wheel, you're overlooking everything. In the art car, you can see if anybody's in your way. You got full 360-degree vision. This demonstrates the concept, but getting the controls in the bus from the floor to the roof is a little bit more of a challenge. I got a plan. It's got the look, right? Some pirate ship stuff. I got some stuff mocked up here, doing a little thinking, and my whole task is to just come up with a proof of concept and you know, sell stone on the idea. All about the oldest template material in the books. Pizza box templates. They're free with pizza. The first step is to deal with the steering issue. I'm just gonna come in with this X that's centered on the wheel. Up here is the boat steering wheel. And there's a universal joint right on the top. That way the steering wheel stays there, and this thing goes right on top. For our purposes, we've got to be really strong and really simple. The pedals are going to be a little more elaborate. We'll call this Exhibit B. I don't want them to be linked directly. What I want is from the bottom of the seat, there's this bracket that's bolted to the floor. Your pedal is here. There's a rod that comes out, and then there's a wheel on it. So the thing about these pedals, it's cool because it has heel action. So you have full control of the acceleration. Instead of just picking up your foot and hoping it returns, you can stop it. The same thing with the brakes. You take the brakes off or on, heel or toe. Now that Arts and Crafts Hour is done, Exhibit B, Exhibit A, let's see how these things will work out. Describing it to someone, this could seem a little harebrained. Hey, it's yet untested, right? I think it's guaranteed it's gonna work. A lot of what I do is to just find something or some things. So you see there's a variety of materials in use, namely the steering wheel, the pedal cluster, etc., and then connect the dots. And the whole idea is it's just like the steering column in a car. This attaches to the bus. This sleeve here goes right in. There you have it, one full custom steering shaft. It always stays horizontal. That's a huge angle. We won't even be dealing with that. We're almost straight. In theory, it seems like it's all gonna work once it's installed, but we're not there yet. This steering is simple. You see it's one rod, right, straight through. That's why I did it first. The more complex part is this pedal assembly. First thing I gotta do is set up these heim joints. Just like the universal joint in that steering shaft, it's got a little wiggle. I like figuring stuff out. This is a pretty unique challenge. I just kind of thought about this pedal actuating system simply by not wanting any friction on the pedal and not wanting to modify the bus pedal. So it just felt to me like a roller design would be the most fluid. Let's just imagine that that's the bus gas pedal. So what this does is it rides on it, just like that. And I attach the vertical rods anywhere in here. It's not the weirdest thing yet, but it's definitely not the most conservative. This rod is way small. This is just an example. So you're up there, you press on the gas, and that presses on the gas. Gas and brake, both in the same way, like a marionette. And as an emergency procedure, this spring is gonna hang somewhere on the rod. So as you press down on the gas, it always comes back up. So it'll take some foot to get this thing going, but as a safety feature, guy falls off the roof, the bus stops. We're getting close. The deadline for the event is coming up. I'm excited to get this Savage Island into test mode. It looks like Stone and the crew have been making a lot of progress. It's all coming together. We're running short on time. I got everything I needed to established with the steering and the controls so you could drive it from the roof. Stone's really been working towards this savage look. Leopard print on the floor, there's a lot of rope details, rope ladders, a lot of carved wooden elements. We got this dance floor and its extensions in place. It's come together. This thing is looking crazy cool, man.
Right, isn't it? This is only half of it, but
There's been way more going on than when I saw it last.
I can't wait to see my kid's face when we drive this thing around and he's able to see all his hard work, all of our crew's hard work.
What's up, laddie?
Gage helped us
Oh,
get
wow.
these flags done.
Your dad wanted to drive this thing from the roof, so I set up some parts. It's ready to test.
So the brake and gas
Yeah.
pedals all hooked up?
Oh, you know it.
Yes. Let me know when we're ready.
Here's the call from the basement. You can hear he's ready. Full ahead, put her in drive.
Here we go.
So see, my foot is on the brake upstairs. Let's take it off, and it rolls. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Look, no hands, Mom. Driving a big 40-foot bus. Just sitting here.
I was a little worried about throwing that wrench into, Ian's gears, but he knocked it out of the park.
Forward, hope.
It was like effortless. Drove like a dream.
This is exactly what we wanted. This is perfect.
That's what I'm talking about. Driving on the roof. Driving from the roof concept was a great call. Sitting up front, you have a very clear and safe vision of where you're heading.
Reverse!
And you hear the reverse? Back her up.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.
Wow, it actually happened, from concept to completion. We're actually on a boat.
Ian, this is perfect, dude. We are moving and I'm not driving. I love it.
Around the world and back again. That's the sailor's way.
How'd that feel with the pedals and stuff?
It's perfect, man. It just wouldn't be a complete success without letting the captain take the wheel.
Wow, this thing's fast. You gotta get a little feel to it. There we go. There it is, there it is. Boom! Ian pulled it off or what?
He did. Ian, you did a good job. I don't know if you can hear me.
He could hear you. Say it louder, right?
Ian, you did amazing.
This thing's driving real good, but it's kind of like an elephant in an ice rink. It needs some room to roam. It's been a fun ride. I always love a good project and a challenge, but the big payoff is seeing all the people respond to it. Folks who never even understood what we're up to. You could tell Savage Island is in full effect.
It was a lot of work, but we got it done. To be in the wide open space with like 50 people on it and just cruise around, I couldn't have asked for anything better than what's going on right now.
The challenge from the start here was to take a city bus that could fold up, drive to an event, and become this floating island, Savage Island party barge. Mission accomplished. I got a call from Jeremy. He lives on the other side of the country, and he's saying he recently acquired one of my creations. You made it.
Yes, long trip.
How's it going, man?
How you doing?
Man, you are loaded down.
Yeah.
Hi.
How's the
Good
trip?
to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too.
Man, I recognize that silhouette.
Yeah.
I thought it went to Arizona, but you're in Missouri.
Yes.
Let's
She's
see.
been around the block a few times. When I first saw the car, believe it or not, I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and I thought for sure, like, that's definitely a car that needs put back together.
Let's see what's going on under here.
All right, don't get nervous.
I was born not nervous. I know the way cars go. I've sold so many projects that a month later, they don't look anything like what they used to. Oh, wow. They didn't even paint it. They went to a paint shop.
Oh, yeah?
I thought that was the first thing you would do with it.
Well, I'm definitely glad they didn't.
Nice. Pulling this cover off, I didn't know what to expect. That's the car I remember. When you said you found it wherever, I was expecting like the Ed Roth story. Oh, we found it and it was a dumpster
Right,
at a
right,
freaking liquor
yeah.
store.
Well, what do you think? Do you think we can do something with it?
Oh, 100%. I want to put it back together for sure. Space Junkie 1.5. Everything you liked about the old car and then just a little more something. Let's get it in the shop and kind of do an inventory and see what we're dealing with.
Okay.
The thing about this vehicle is it's like it got kind of short-ended. As developed as it was, I always wanted so much more from it. Well, the good news is you got stuff, like the car body. The bad but not so bad is we're gonna have to get a lot more. Detail on this frame, I really like it. Whoever was doing this, they replicated these cup shapes. That's what the original one was. I mean, we got a lot of potential here for sure. My favorite part of every project is the first 30 seconds. That moment of inspiration. I spent so much time staring at this car in its first incarnation. Now I get to revisit it with fresh eyes. When I built this thing, it was just a different time in my life, different frame of mind, And it's like, it still holds up today, but a little older, a little wiser. You know, I'm not saying I regret anything, but I think we could really push this thing like into the future.
Well, you act like it's no big deal. I mean,
No,
you
I've been
think?
down this road. I mean, that's what I do, man. Time to get this thing back together.
Do you think you have a game plan, or do you?
I got a million ideas, man. Just let's roll with it.
So we're not gonna like draw it out or take some notes?
No,
You got
no.
paper and pen?
Nah,
we can
don't-
take notes.
You don't even do. You don't even want to see how I draw a line.
I do have a surprise for you in the back of the truck.
That's why it's sitting so low. You got
Yeah.
you got some junk in the trunk.
What do you think of this?
Oh wow, that looks like exactly what I started with. I don't know where he got this engine. Somehow he saw the photos and got what was there. Wait a second, what? Is this like some mini truck and stuff?
Yeah.
With the bed dancing?
Uh-huh. That's next. Let me turn on the music.
As conservative as Jeremy appears, you could tell he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Now it's starting to get interesting. That is freaking cool.
Yeah, I figured he would like that out of the stuff that he likes.
There it is, man. Put some wires to it and start her up. The whole time I'm thinking, what are we gonna do about the engine? And there it is. And it's a runner.
Yes, I thought you'd like that. I know he's thinking hard about this, which is, I mean, that's like icing on the cake. If he's thinking, that means he's dreaming something wild up, and that's all we could all hope for.
I know you gotta hit the road, but I'm gonna get started this afternoon, man. I
Hey.
got ideas.
Man with a plan.
The first thing I wanna do is create a new chassis, little twist on the old design, and a few improvements. I'm gonna use 2x4 for a little more room, but I'm gonna put it on its side. I think this small improvement will make a real difference. You know, it'll be the same look from the outside, but the interior room will be way better for it. You see this detail of all the little cups that are welded in. It's pretty labor intense, so it's gonna take a while. The idea here is to keep the theme of the original vehicle intact. So it's like as if it was like twin brothers or sisters from the start, and how they each accessorize themselves differently. So it's the same thing, as if, you know, this thing had another life, which it does. So it's my custom lifting device. This isn't a big structural thing, so I want to mount them on the underside of the tubing inside the channel so that it appears a little bit deeper. Drill the holes, weld the thing in, and repeat. The one difference already from the original chassis design was the rails were sitting like this. Now they're flat. And in addition, in the front of the car, you're gonna have 2 cup holders, right and left. This is America, and we love our cups. This car's got 2. So just like this rocker panel here comes back and then jogs off, I'm gonna have to do the same with the chassis because I want that to be flowing right through. At this point, it's purely visual. You know, I want to nail the look of this thing and reinforce as necessary. The thing about these really low cars that you can't get away from is the drive shaft being inside the car, literally. You know, most cars you'll see a little hump through the floor, so this is that little hump magnified. This is a really tricky part of the car, and that's why I got to think outside the box. The original design was purely aesthetic, and it hindered the space incredibly. You know, I'm trying to go with the simplest space-conserving design. You know, something like a modified 3-link. I've got these link arms. You see them all the time. They're adjustable, 4-link suspension stuff. So I took 2 of these, I put them in a tube bender and bent them, and I joined them in the center. They're not fully welded yet because I don't want to melt any kind of plastic out of this heim joint. So the idea with this is in the center, facing forward. There's always some kind of cross link to keep the axle centered in the car, and that's what this does also. It can't move side to side. It can only do that or that. I've got theories I can go on for days. The real deal is in the test. The only way to see if it's gonna work is to put it together. A little short on hardware, so sometimes I'll use a drill bit. Improvising with sheet metal is one thing, but improvising with engineering is quite another. You have a lot of moving parts to consider. That's basically the arrangement of that. I think I'm gonna test it right now and then put the airbags in. The true proof is in what happens when this thing's in motion. You know, if something goes wrong, if it binds, it explodes. The axle drops, effectively raising the car. And see how the link arms go parallel? So that's completely unweighted. That's exactly what I was hoping to see. As simple as it looks, it took a lot of figuring in my head, and I could see now through the range of motion, it's gonna work fine. That's probably about ride height. See where these bars are pretty level? And then it allows the axle to really twist, see that? When you come into a driveway, it's got a lot of motion. I'm really glad I gotta change this all up, you know, take a few risks, because that's the thing. If you're gonna make it better, you gotta step outside of what already happened. I think this is the hot ticket. It's gonna be all right. Next challenge is getting the airbags set in there. I wanna do something unique with them as well. So the standard installation would be right on top of the axle. You see that all the time. You make a bridge, and that's how they live. It's kind of in the way of things, right? I don't wanna see it up there, do you? Nope. The bag's gonna live right inside here. So being ahead of the axle, it's gonna offer a little more lift just because it's closer to the pivot point, and also it's real discreet. Another benefit of this airbag design is the brackets that hold the bags will act as a truss structure for this third link. So, you know, I'm always thinking how to simplify and strengthen stuff, especially with suspensions. Like butter. You know, if you want to see a normal suspension, look somewhere else. This is full experimentation garage. I mean, you didn't think I was gonna try something normal or average, did you? I got the rear chassis and suspension all finalized. I also did some sheet metal work, and it's looking good. The goal from the jump was to get more room in this thing, and I think I'm already on the right path. I really want to get the front of the chassis fitted and then put the front axle in as well. I want to make it a little bit stronger, so I'm coming up with this truss shape in here. It'll add a lot more rigidity to it. My challenge is to create a front motor mount right now and then put the hood on and see how everything's gonna come together. This engine is a straight 8. It's almost twice as long as a V8 engine. The engine mount here was a very simple structure. The real challenge is going to be these two frame horns. The way they interact with the hood is of critical importance. So here is where we deviate from the plan. So you may have been asking yourself, how the heck is he gonna bend a 2x4-inch rectangle tube on that tight a radius? And the answer is, I'm not going to bend it. I'm going to segment it and re-weld it. That's what all that cutting was about. The old lobster tail trick. I'm gonna weld nice and hot over all these joins and then grind them out later. The lobster tail trick has been used before on many occasions, so it translates perfectly to this chassis design. Ultimately, the frame rail will be a compound curve, you know, so we got the curve, we're just looking for the compound. The old spray can on the lobster tail trick. The oldest technique in the book. This is a lot of work for a little result, but that's all a part of building a show car. The whole thing with this chassis design was like organic, you know, it's got to work around the hood, make it look like the painted part is coming through the mechanical part. Now you see the difference between your standard issue and your refined edition. You know, you're curving, you're swooping. I think it's gonna look extra special. There you have it, 2 very fine bent frame rail ends. That's the call, that looks perfect. I'll duplicate that on the other side. Front end is taking shape, and I got some plans to keep this train rolling. I got that car off the table and brought the table over here. I'm partnering with Speedway on this project. They have kits for everything. So I have an air suspension kit, I have 4-wheel disc brake kit, I've got all the steering linkage, it's all brand new. And I just chose what I would have always wanted to use on this car. And here it is, it's like Christmas morning. I have an idea about the wheel and tire combo. I don't know what you were thinking, but you know, let's just get this thing so it'll roll forward and back like right now.
All right, I can't wait.
I didn't know Jeremy from anyone. He just called me and said, you know, he builds custom cars and he has one of my projects. So in getting to know him a little bit better, it turns out that he has a few really creative builds under his belt, and him and his father have a company where they do a lot of specialized stainless steel work and car building.
I've got a shop there in Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. I eat, you know, breathe this stuff. It's gasoline in the veins.
That's the thing in working with a client. You know, some guys are just the idea guys. I'm not mentioning any names. Other guys can get in there and work with you. Always something. It's never smooth sailing. That's why they call it custom. It ain't easy. With this forward axle and the tie rod being where it is, it's different than these Model A wishbones. I mean, you always run into some situation where you maybe have to heat them, but these are big castings. We're not gonna be able to do that. The reason this becomes an issue is the lower you make a car, the more things get stacked up in a smaller space. When you have a lifted vehicle, you got all this room in here. When you lower it, everything's on top of each other. When faced with an issue, one of my first go-tos is try it upside down, flip it around. I actually learned that from an old gentleman I was working with for years. Steer it. Every time, he's like, turn it upside down. We, what? Sure enough, it still holds. So it was designed to go in upside down. Look at that.
They just weren't thinking.
It's absolutely perfect. We're not out of the woods yet, but we're way closer. The first step is to make a spacer so I can weld this thing together.
Are you worried about the integrity, the strength,
Well, integrity is my new middle name.
Yeah. What about strength?
Well, strength is built in, baby. You don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to transfer that into this fabrication. Roussel's Strength and Integrity Suspension Services.
Strength,
Strength.
integrity.
That's it. It's like military training. Radius rods are welded super solid. They look a little funky because there's just a lot of material that's been deposited. Once they're ground down and smooth, they're gonna look like castings. Perfect. So yeah, all this looks good. You know, now we're steering. We're not hitting anything. It's perfect. Minor adjustments, that's what it's all about. I actually have the original rims and tires for
No
this.
way.
Yeah.
Really?
They were on my Model A that I'm building. I forgot they're all the way in the back of the container. So now that this is back, I think they should go on here.
It's been in the back of my mind what's going to go on with those wheels and tires, and here's Ian coming from the back, you know, coming from the relics. There she is. It's like holding history.
There's some things that just you gotta keep, you know, you never know. Why not try it out? Look at that.
Right.
Big 20-inch rims, massive
Oh,
calipers. That's pretty tough looking. The only car you have to put the floor jack into the back. All I could say is the experimentation is a success. I mean, this chassis is pretty much dialed in, you know. One main issue is the lack of sunroof.
It's a big hole.
Yeah. I have some untested ideas in development that just might solve our problem. The first step in the process is to put a slight bend in these stainless steel rods. You know, I want there to be some tension so the fabric doesn't flatten it out, and also enhance the curvature of the roof line. As I'm just about done welding, yank that ground off so I could drop it in the bucket without melting these wheels. If there's one thing you gotta know about welding when there's plastic around is don't heat it up. And out. So this is the quick, cool technique. That's that. The theory would be that this just slides in and operates. Pull it forward. And that's the deal right there. Proof is in the operation, you know, smooth as silk is what we're looking for. I'm always looking to offer the full envisioning experience. So right now I just want to lay out some tape and really show Jeremy how the fabric will behave once it's attached to these bows and folded up.
That right there just mimicked that line on your drawing.
Exactly. Yeah, see, now the roof has a contour. That's perfect. You know, just a little bit, definitely not flat.
Looks good.
We still need to figure out the upholstery, but the mechanics of it are there. I call this a success. Very simple, totally cool. I'm waiting on a transmission I ordered also from Speedway.
It's gonna be nice.
Everything about this project's coming together really cool. It's definitely an enhanced version of what was. The next big mission is to get this drivetrain updated and in the car. Let's see what happens next. Project's coming together. We got the show. It's looking good. Now we need the go. I love the idea of the straight 8, but you got no transmission to put the power to the wheels.
I don't know where it went.
So I got that 350 Chevy transmission from Speedway. I started with a transmission cover, but I want to get the engine in and the drive shaft, everything in place before we finalize all the sheet metal. This engine's a key element in bringing the look of this whole thing back together, but it's not as simple as it was the first time. Great ideas also lead to problems. So we got a great engine, we got a great transmission, and one of the problems is, like, how do you mesh them?
Yeah, the puzzle piece doesn't quite fit together yet, right?
Exactly. That Chevy bell housing is so much bigger, it'll never bolt up to this without a significant amount of machine work and engineering. But check this out. Transmissionadapters.com. On the shelf, they have a Chevy transmission to Pontiac straight 8 adapter kit. Look at this.
So even this obscure, like a straight 8.
Yes, I called them and he's like, yeah, we got that. They got this crankshaft adapter, their own custom flex plate, and a brand new mini starter. They made their own puzzle piece to fit these together.
Now that's crazy.
Jeremy's a car builder in his own right. He wanted to be involved, you know, get his hands dirty on this project. He's told me since the beginning he's wanted to take this back to his shop for the final details. This gives me the creative ability with the heavy fabrication to really nail those points. Back at Jeremy's shop, he'll focus on the final details of the chassis paint, the interior fit up, the wiring, etc. Everything lines up, as it should. Sometimes the stars align. I get to do the transformation I was hoping to see, and Jeremy gets the car he's always wanted. Wow, that was almost too easy. Let's put the body and the nose on. You know, you can see my little crutch design holding up the roof truss. Title of the house says built in 1940. This garage is made out of railroad ties and telephone poles. I don't want it to come down. It's pretty charming.
It's just some Amish engineering, boy.
You can see it works. This transmission is overall, in every direction, larger than the original unit. Hopefully, this will fit under the dashboard. It actually fits. You know, that transmission is big.
Yeah.
And it still fits under the body and the dashboard. Look at that. With any luck, this big hole in the hood should fit that engine just right. You can see the hood design is set up to showcase the mechanics front and center, and that's where the next challenge begins. How do you feed this engine fuel and release the exhaust?
I like where your head's at.
Behind baggie number 1, open that up. These are Weber side drafts.
Nice.
They go on a lot of exotic cars. They're very well designed, and I thought they would look really cool in the wrong place on this car. That'll make some exhaust, but there's 2 more things. So I was thinking, yeah, check that out.
You a cheerleader?
Exactly. No, that's my dunce cap. Before I start any project, I like to line up all the possibilities, take a look at them, and then get to work. I mean, anything goes. It would be a little more challenging to set them like that, but that's kind of cool too, eh? You know, take a minute and explore the possibilities. Whatever you like.
You can hear my gears turning?
Right.
You can hear it? You can hear that, yeah?
I've spent my time considering and figuring out all aspects of this car, so let's see what Jeremy ends up with. So, what do you want to do? I mean, it's time to build the cooler version than it was.
I know cooler's better. I still like the way they look sideways.
We have to determine the placement of the carbs. Once we decide that, we can begin to build the intake.
I really still like the way that it was set up originally. I mean, I know some of the nostalgic part of this car was how everything was set up that way. And if they're set up on these blocks and they're that high, you can still get to the spark plug wires and anything like that.
I like that idea. If you want to start on that rear one, I'll start on the front one and we'll fill in the spaces in between.
All right. I don't know if I'm qualified for this.
Yeah, we do have a little quality control course you have to get clearanced on. Is that how you're feeling?
I think so.
In the end, there'll be a few necessities included with this concept, but also some aesthetic stuff. You know, it's got to look cool as well as do its job. We got some busy work tying up this intake. The next part is the exhaust, and that's where it really comes alive. Our building frenzy hasn't allowed us to see this fit up on the car. So it's like, enough planning, let's just get to it. I love the look of those carburetors. The whole concept of this design on the intake is that the carbs appear to be floating. That's the idea with the bracing between the tubes. So we had the hood on when we did the carburetors, but we did nothing about the trumpets and the exhaust. I didn't even think about that. The old build it without the hood on trick. We're hitting the exhaust bracket.
Is it?
Oh yeah, 100%. The proof is in the test fit. Clearly we got carried away. You know, next time you rebuild this car, leave the hood on before you redo the exhaust.
I don't think there should have to be a next time.
Third time's the charm. It's been around the block a few times. Actually, it's never even been around the block. This car has more miles on it than most show cars, and they've all been on a trailer. I think 1 or 2 trims on the bracket, and we're in business. Now, hopefully the exhaust fits. One difference between this and the original intake manifold was I built that right to the engine. Jeremy came up with a great idea to make it flow with the line of the hood opening a little better. Yeah, I really like how the manifolds do follow that paintwork. That's cool. The other one didn't do that.
Yeah, I need littler hands or something.
That's the spice of working with another fabricator, is I had some ideas, Jeremy's got a few, mix it all together and see what comes up. Let's drop it on the ground. I want to see it. Yeah, I thought that the building of the car was the hard part, but you know, this is not like changing the tire on your grandfather's pickup truck. How the heck did we do this last time? Somehow you got to get on top and lower it down gracefully. That's a pretty low car, sir. Seeing this car on its way back is really rewarding. You know, I think it's kind of like a parent-childhood scenario. You know, you send your kid out into the world and it goes through some stuff, you know, comes back with blue hair and piercings. I don't know. This car came back looking a little loose, a little worse for wear, but under our tender guidance, it's coming back.
Totally different now, right? Doors on? What?
Yeah. It's looking so good, I'm getting ideas.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, I can't wait to take this car apart again. Pretty nice car you got there, sir. Where can I get one of them? Just the fact of seeing this thing back on 4 wheels with a frame under it is really cool. The carburetor setup, just seeing the intake up a little higher, a little more aggressive. I love the new and improved exhaust. The fact that we stayed with the same rim and tire combo is a win for me, and the cloth sunroof is a nice, classy touch. That's the transformation, man, right there.
It looks nice.
Grab your seat, throw it in there. You know, I want to see how 2 full-size humans fit in this rig. Take me to the bar, Jeeves.
Yeah.
There's been so much talk on it. It's like, how do you fit in there? How do you drive it? Laying down? Yes.
Yeah, kinda,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, it's relaxing.
All jokes aside, there is way more room in this car than there ever was before. This car is literally like waist high, and the 2 of us are in there. We're not hitting shoulders. There's plenty of room to look around. I think it's gonna work.
Now I know why you build it. I like it. I like how everything looks right now. Almost like a monster mobile, you know what I mean? You got the engine that's sticking up almost right at the roof line.
The thing is, you know, you're looking at this, but you get into a parking lot, and you're just like, periscope up, check all around, and then you're cool again.
Yeah,
It's
you're
that simple.
incognito.
Jeremy's really pleased with this thing, but I got a surprise lined up. There's another vehicle that he really needs to see. Space Junkie 2.0. It's never been displayed at a major car show, so it's just cool to see people's reactions.
Whoa, this is so wild to see this in person.
I wanted the full show car, and we donated the chassis from your car. See how the chassis developed from what it was to what we created?
Oh,
wanted
well, I mean,
more.
I see now why you tore the other car apart. To see that in person is a showstopper. I mean, people stop, they look, this is exciting.
So that's kind of the thing, you know, the story of Space Junkie's ever evolving. We got 1, 1.5, 2.0. So the ultimate goal will be to have these together at a show someday. This one's probably not going to change, but yours is still evolving.
Man, I tell you what, this has been an awesome journey, man. I greatly appreciate everything, and like even bringing me here to check out this.
Yeah.
This is awesome, dude.
Cool, let's get yours together real soon.
Let's do it.
We'll bring it here next year.
Yes.